Abdul and Julie on Friday, the 4th of August, 2017. And we are going to be doing some training on taxes and finances and taxes. So let me link this to the top. Be sure that we understand that we want to, this is a new task, right? So this is the recording here. And then we also want to make sure that this gets into the video indexing for finances and taxes, okay? Okay, so the first step here is, all right, let's make this yellow as well so we don't forget. Okay, so the first step here is that we want to verify where we are with the finances. So here we have the finance doc. In the project finance doc, we're going to go down to the finance accounts verification spreadsheet, which is, I think, what we're working with. There might be another one for verification. I think this one might be up for FQN. Let's see if it's in here. So this has exit, FQN checking. Yeah, I don't think that's it. All right, Abdul says, hi Jay, can you please the new doc they need to create? I mentioned before, I'm not clear about that. Electricity's gone here, electricity's not good. We can wait, it's okay. All right, so can you still hear me, Julie?
Yes, Jay.
Okay, cool. So this is the FQN verification accounts and has Innovate United. So everything that's not Innovate United, we can just go ahead and delete. And this is going to be the new Innovate United ones. Delete internal accounting. Yeah, we're not worried about that. So for Innovate United, the first thing we know is there's like 5 accounts, right? So this would be the institution. We have a checking. We have a savings, right? And this is Wells Fargo. Then there's PayPal, PayPal main. This would be the wallet / account. And then there's the VZ Enterprise, right? Innovate org entity. So this would be Innovate United VZ Enterprise. So this would be Innovate United internal, right? I don't know if that makes sense to you, but basically it's an umbrella organization. So you have internal finances and then you have sub-business finances, but it's all part. So this would be a main, a checking, and a savings for Wells Fargo. And then there's actually also Venmo, there's Payza, there's US Bank checking. So does this make sense? Is you following this here?
Yes, Jay.
Great. Okay. So we have all the CVS doc range, all this stuff, which is great. In addition to that, there's also, and let me just copy it from here because we have it all already here. So we're going to create a new sheet on the bottom, right? And so this is going to be what's called the CSV ledger verification. And then this one's going to be the steps verification. So we're basically going to take the same information here of all of the orgs and everything like that. And then we're going to have all the steps. So you can see how in this one, it shows the steps that have been gone through. So in this particular situation, oh yeah, there we go, it worked. So, copy. So here, do you remember what step 1? Do you know the different steps, step 1 through 7, or do you want me to review the steps?
Yes, for 1 to 7.
Do you remember the
Yes,
steps,
Jay.
or do you want me to review the steps real quick?
Yeah, please review it real quick.
Okay, so if we're going to review the steps, so go back to the project finance doc, and on the bottom here, it should have the steps. Step 1 is downloading and getting the CSVs from the bank statements, right? In the actual banks, right? In the wallets and accounts. Step 2 is uploading the CSVs and turning them into Google spreadsheets so that we have all the information, right? And all that training exists right here. We have all the training videos for that. The step 3 and 4 are related. They're basically syncing the uploaded CSVs in the Google spreadsheets with the ledgers, right? So every single account has a ledger. This also involves, if you have umbrella ledgers, you would sync the umbrella ledgers together as well. Step 4 is going through all of the categories and seeing if there's missing gaps. Anything that's big money and has a big problem, you make red, right? If it's a gap and you're not sure what's going on, it would be red. Anything that's like medium problem you're concerned about, make orange. And anything else, that you just have questions about, you make yellow, but it might not necessarily be like a big problem. And then you update the finance task list doc that has all the tasks for all of the spreadsheets, okay?
Okay.
And we have a video for this one as well. Step 5 is that you'd actually contact the people to ask what the money was spent on. So when you have gaps and questions from step 4, step 5 is actually finding out what those gaps and questions are and getting the answers. Step 6 is finalizing the records for the accounts by year and categories. So this is where you add up all the travel, rent, office expenses, income, all that kind of stuff, right? And so then you just add it all up. And then step 7 is when you actually do the taxes. Okay, so those are all the steps. So
Okay.
Oh, look, Abdul's back. So right here, what we're looking at is the Wells Fargo accounts for checking, savings, PayPal, and Wells Fargo for Visa Enterprises. All of these we did step 1, and here we should probably just note these down here. Insert row above. So step 1 is download CSV, right? So all of these are done. So this is done. Okay? And there actually is also a U.S. bank for Visa Enterprise. Right? So this one we have not done. No. Okay?
Okay.
And the reason why we haven't done them is that they're just not that important because they're just, there's just not very much information there. It's not enough it doesn't affect our taxes, okay? They're not really used. So step 2 is very similar. We basically did step 2 like that. And remember, if you don't do step 1, it's not actually possible to do step 2. So step 2 is uploading CSV into Google spreadsheets, right? So first you download the CSVs, then you upload the CSVs, right? Step 3 is, you guys remember what step 3 is?
Yeah.
What's step 3?
Step 3.
Step 3 is syncing, right? So you sync the ledgers, right? The account ledgers. So each account has a ledger, right? And this we didn't do perfectly, but basically we can say we did 95% for all of these, and these ones are all no. And we also did the umbrella ledger, right? So there is an umbrella ledger, and I would almost say that's its own thing. So Innovate United umbrella. And so this is not applicable. This would be all And then the steps here, this would be yes, yes, and this is yes. So we do have an umbrella ledger, which is pretty cool, okay? So what's step 4? Step 4 is finding the gaps, right? Right?
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty like 85% on all of this. We might have done better on a couple of spots. So step 5, what's step 5?
Step 5. That will be containing people to find out what the money was spent on.
Isaiah, I think step 4 and 5 is ongoing because we have a training video last August.
Sure, but we're talking about these specific accounts. So these specific accounts were done. So step 5, like Julie just said, is filling the gaps, right? So you have to talk to the people to fill the gaps. So for all of these, I mean, I would say we're basically like 75%. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So it's still green for all of these. There could be a few things that are missing. Obviously, those weren't done. So then, what's step 6 is? Step 6 is basically adding up the categories, right? So category totals. Okay. And so step 6 is yes for all of this. Okay. And then obviously these are no's. So now we're on step 7. What's step 7? What's step 7? Step 7, guys? You guys know what step 7 is? Hello? Are you guys there?
7, yeah. For step 7, Jay.
Do you know what step 7 is?
Taxes.
Taxes, yes. The tax forms. Okay? So this is the verification. Really good thing to do. We love verification. We love verifying everything. And so now everyone can see exactly where we're at. You know, everything here is pretty good. It's not perfect. We could spend more time on it, but it's good enough. We want to get the taxes done now. And we're all focusing on Innovate United, and we want to get it done. Okay, so are you guys, any questions on the verification?
No questions. I clearly understand this.
Okay. Great. Okay, so no questions. Okay, so we're good on the verification. Now we're going to go into the taxes. So the first thing that we want to look at is we're going to go to Innovate United because that's our priority. So here our priorities is EXA Inc., Innovate United, and UIS. So we're going to start with Innovate United LLC, try to get that done. Working with the umbrella ledger. The umbrella ledger is really cool because it combines all of the other ledgers together. So basically what we're looking at here is all of the 2017 and 2016. What is this? For PayPal Qatari general currency conversion as conversion, okay. Not sure what you're talking about. Come to, what are we? We're in the main hangout for tax forms training. All right, so so here's the master, the umbrella ledger for Innovate United. So this includes multiple accounts. We have checking accounts, savings accounts, PayPal, right? There's both VZ Enterprises as well as Innovate United primary accounts and main accounts. So it's all here. There's like 5 accounts all interlaced. We have multiple currencies. We've got Philippine pesos, US dollars, euros, Mexican pesos, all this stuff, right? So it's quite a complicated it's a single organization, but it's multi-account, multi-currency. Okay, so we can note that here. Single org, multi-account, multi-currency. All right.
Okay.
So it's a pretty complicated. It's a pretty complicated ledger. It's an umbrella ledger, but it's very important. We do a lot of umbrella ledgers because we have so many different types of, accounts and organizations that the multi ledgers or the umbrella ledgers help organize it all. So can I also join the training? Sure. We are recording it all as well. But if you are finishing up something, you can do that first. Okay, so basically we're skipping 2017. We're not worrying about 2017 because we're finishing up the 2016 taxes. So if you come down to 2016, right, you get to all of our different things here. If you notice, there's not a lot of yellow stuff. Like this is yellow because it's only like $39. You have a couple other expenses here that are yellow, but overall it's all pretty much done correctly, which is excellent. Oh my God, but she didn't finish it. So weird. Why did you not finish it? So this looks like a problem here that we might need to double check. I thought Nelly was gonna finish all this stuff. I guess she didn't. So this is the key thing for checking on the transfers is like, see how this transfer is -25, +25? You can see that you transferred from checking to savings account. See that, how that works? Right here, +25 to -25 is a checking and savings transfer. Hello, you guys see that?
Yeah.
So this one is obviously a transfer, but this one where it says -$30, this one doesn't have a corresponding positive amount, so it's not a transfer. So this one's actually a draw because it goes to me. It goes to DJC. This is basically pay for me. Okay. So anytime you have a transfer, so here's a +35, -35. So that's the transfer is confirmed. You have a -$30 here, but no +30. So this would be a draw. Okay. So this one also needs to be rechecked.
Okay.
So then from there, you would have $15, -$15, confirmed. 25, -25, confirmed. Right? So transfer -30. This is going to be a draw. So we're going to make that yellow because we changed it. Transfer 20, -25. Okay. So anyway, and this is also a draw. I don't know how these get changed back. It's like we change them and they get changed back. It doesn't make any sense. It's actually extremely frustrating that we do that and people change the back. Like if it doesn't matter that it says that it's a recurring transfer. If you can't find the transfer, so like you have $5 here, -$5, that's a transfer. Okay. 25, -25, right? 105, -105. So those are all transfers. 775 to -775 transfer. 25, -25. So that's a transfer. 4, -4. That one's good. 185, 185. That one's good. 25, 25. $7, 7. 15, 15. Okay, so these look better now. So it looks like the rest of these are pretty good. $10, -10. 105, -105. 46, 146. So these are all good. See how these are all good? $99.99. $5. Negative $5. See, it's way up there. Positive 5, negative 5. You see that? 25, 25.
Yes.
Okay, so this is like, you guys should all be able to help out with this, you know, and do this. If you're gonna help out with it, do it now. Otherwise, it'll already be done. So 88, 88, 100, 100, 15, 15. So anyways, it looks pretty good from here. There's obviously still a few problems. There's a lot of background noise. That's the problem. If we can mute. Like Julie or someone, could you mute when you're not talking?
Yes, Jay.
There's a lot of background noise.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, so much better. Ah, now I don't have to yell. So I'm not sure what happened with Zilu. Zilu, are you coming? If someone wants to check on, see what's going on with Zilu, that would be good. All right, so where were we here? Okay, so now the next part is the so this is all, I was just going over all step. Do you guys remember what step that is? This is all step I, or step 4. So everything I was just talking about was just step 4. So step 5 is filling in the gaps that were a problem, right? And then K is the category total. So now we're going to talk about step 6, which is the category totals, which would here, this would be category totals, right? So for whatever reason, they, oh my God, why is it organized by date? That doesn't make
That were a problem,
sense.
right? And then K is category totals. So now we're going to talk about step 6, which is the category totals.
Hey, Zilu.
So here, this would be category.
Zilu, you got a bunch of background noise. You're watching the video at the same time. There we go. So Zilu, were you working on all of the Innovate United umbrella ledger at all? Zilu?
Yes, were you working on
Hello, Zilu, are you there?
Yeah, right now it's okay. I have a problem with my computer a little bit. Now okay. I was with your video also, YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So were you working on the umbrella ledger? Because we're having some problems. Like it's not, like somebody's changing things around and it doesn't make any sense. So like this should all be organized by category. Were you changing this around at all, or is that someone else?
I just did the papers categories.
Okay, so you just did what?
I did only the paper categories.
Where would you do PayPal
Because
categories?
it was not completed.
All the
gap was
PayPal
on
categories
paper.
are done. It's in the umbrella ledger and everything's already done already. So what do you mean you're doing PayPal categories? I just don't understand. What does that mean, Zilu? I don't understand.
There was gap on papers accounts and I just fill up the gaps. It's like on papers only. And the others is already done.
Okay, but after you create an umbrella ledger, then you focus on the umbrella ledger. You don't worry about any other ledgers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because the umbrella ledger has the PayPal accounts in it. So it wouldn't make sense to do the PayPal account and the umbrella ledger, you already have it all here. So I can just sort like this, right? And then I can go to the PayPal account. It's all right here. The entire PayPal account.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ledger for the PayPal account's right here. And it's all completed, all the categories. And we spent a lot of time on that.
Well,
Okay?
okay.
All right, so this is gonna go like that. Okay, cool. All right, so basically, there's not a lot of problems in here right now, but that's why I asked you to come over here, Zila, because I mean, it just seemed like you weren't working on anything helpful, that you were just working just to work. You know, it's like you guys always need to be asking yourself the question, is what I'm doing, you know, helpful and actually moving things forward? You know, additionally, somebody was going in here and changing all these draws back to transfers, which was kind of silly, but maybe it's just these three here, or these three right here. So because these are yellow, we need to confirm them. So 321, when we go to the category totals, we would come in here and make sure 321 is here. 321. Okay, so we see it. Wait, no, it's $100. So this is here. This is 321 for $30. Where do we get 321 for $100? 321, $100 draw from UI checking. Do you guys understand that? 321, 2016. 321, 2016. Do you guys see what's going on? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just really weird. I would assume that it's negative $30. I don't understand why, you know, it's not. But I would just go ahead and say that this needs to be double checked. Does that make sense? That I would just make it yellow. If something doesn't seem right, you make it yellow. It should be double checked. You guys, that make sense? Hello? Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one yellow. The next one's 328. So then I come over here, look at the categories totals. It goes to 328, but it's not there. I don't see 328, so I'm gonna add it in. And I just copy it and I paste it. And here, 328. Done. And then this one, it should be fine. Should be fine. All right. So technically, if I was going to do it perfectly, I would need to go down to the transfers as well and delete it from the transfers. But I'm not going to worry about that right now because there's still enough time. So then the last one here is from 4.4. So I come over here, look at 4.4. I don't see 4.4 either. I see 421. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a row for 4.4. Okay. And then go ahead and paste that there for 4.4. Okay. And so then this one doesn't need to be yellow either because we are confirming it and it looks correct. So then this one can be unyellowified. Okay. So anytime you make a change in a previous step, you have to go back and change the other steps. Does that make sense? So if we change something in step 4, that will change step 6 as well. If we change something in step 6, we have to go back and change it in step 4. Does that make sense? And vice versa.
Yes, Jay.
Right? And that can be very, very
Yes.
cumbersome, but the easiest thing to do is just leave it yellow and then not worry about it. Okay. Okay. So the category totals, now we have it all done. These are the draws. I mean, you just leave it as draws. You insert a line or two or three, however many lines you want to, and then it's basically like the draw subtotal. And this is for the category. I would just do a sum it all up, and there's your draw total. Okay? That makes sense?
Yes.
So it's 654.44. So for step 7, wait, actually this is still part
Will you
of.
share your screen, please?
Say what?
Will you share your screen, please?
Oh, you can't see it? I'm gonna try again. Is that good? Can you see my screen now, Zeelit?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so where were we? So the main reason why we separate the final category totals from, oh wait, you know what? They did this all completely wrong. Okay. So we're gonna keep the ledger separate from the category totals. So this is actually totally wrong, and maybe that's why it was so confusing. Is we actually have a separate document for the category totals. And maybe that's why it was wrong. No, it's not. It was already wrong. Okay, so all of these draws, but at least it was in the correct order, right? So the draws were still incorrect, but at least the things were in the correct order. Okay, so if I look at these draws and I sum it up, it equals 694, and it's because of this extra $100 here. So we're just gonna go ahead, and we know this was all confirmed to be correct. So we can copy this and paste this in here, and it should be right. Nice, okay. And these are the draw subtotals. Okay. Does that all make sense? Wait, 615, 654, and 615. Oh, it's so weird. So obviously something is wrong between the two. So I mean, it would take some time. You need to like go through and do like a meticulous. I mean, we know this is 30. So I don't know exactly what's wrong, but there's something that needs to be double and triple checked and verified. I don't have time for it right now, and it's not a big deal for the taxes. Like, it's a small amount of money. Although it's $100 difference. Like, why is it not adding up correctly? Really strange. Make sure I got the 221, yeah? Why would it be off by so much? Okay, anyways, let's just go ahead and try to just get this here and not worry about it. Oh, I know why it's off. Because this just needs to go to 22. There, now it's good. Okay. So this is the draw totals. Okay, so then once you get the total, then it's 654.44. You go to the total categories, and this would be for the draw. Jay's draw would be 654. What was it? 654.44. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you would go and do that for every single category. The main thing for the fees is that there's this negative $16, right? So for the fees, you would actually do, you would add both of these together. So it would be the sum of all of this for the fees, plus you're going to be subtracting these two fees, right? Because those ones were reversed, so then they wouldn't be applicable. So it's 221.60, right? So here you go to fees, and it'll be 221.60. So whoever did this before made mistakes. That's why we double and triple and quadruple check everything. Okay?
Yeah.
So anyways, so you go down through each category, you know, like our income, right? Our legal services, our office expenses, our office supplies, right? Our payroll, our transfers. Actually, you don't have to worry about the transfers. The transfers are not applicable because they're gone, right? They're transferred, okay? Although this is not a transfer here, although it's on the last day of the year, so it's probably not. But we still want to make this yellow. So again, so if I make something yellow in here, right, because we're in the 2016 categories, they have to go back over here. Remember this whole thing, I made a mistake. We're deleting it. Someone forgot to delete it. It was there. Okay, so this is the umbrella ledger. The umbrella ledger has all of the dates in it and is fully complete, and there's nothing else except for the dates, right? This is step 4, right? Step 4. Actually, it's step 3 to 4 and 5 and 6. Let's forget it. Syncing the ledger is part of step 3. Gaps, filling gaps. So it's 3, 4, and 5. All right, so this is step like 3.5 to 5. That makes sense?
Yes.
Cool. So anytime you make something yellow in step 6, which is the categories, you have to go back until this is 12/30/2016. You have to go back into the umbrella ledger and update it here. Otherwise, there's no way to update it. You have to go backwards between them, or it'll never be updated. And this was that $10,000 here, right? So somebody said this was a transfer, right? But a transfer, you must have the -15 and the +15. So see how these match, right? That's a transfer. So those match as transfers, right? Well, this is -15, this is 15 right here. So this -15 needs to match with another 15. That's odd. So you have 25, -25. You have a fee reversal. Then you have -15, +15, -15. So see how this -15 doesn't match anywhere? You see how that doesn't match?
Mhm.
So this can't be a transfer, right? It's a charge. See where it says there it's a charge? So someone made a mistake. This is a fee, not a transfer. So this is another one that's now yellow. So now this needs to go backwards into here. So this is not a transfer. This is actually a fee. And then that gets recategorized. When we go A to Z, that will get recategorized into the fees. And then you have to redo all the fee costs. Are you guys understanding how it can get very cumbersome to make lots of mistakes from one? So you really want to like double, triple, quadruple check each level before you go on to the next one. So anyways, for the fees here, I still get -220.60, which is before we had -221.60. So I'm not sure why that didn't change the fees. But what are you gonna do? All right. Anyways, it was a minor amount. Okay, but are you guys following me so this is no longer a fee, so we're gonna make that non-yellow again. I changed it the other one too. So you guys follow me that you need to, once you get to step 6, if there's still problems, you have to go back and forth between the categories and data for step 6 and then the umbrella ledger. So it becomes much more complicated to make changes. So that's why you want to, comb through your master ledger and make sure every single detail, never, ever, ever just randomly guess what the category is. Can someone repeat that, please? What do you do if you're not sure what the category is?
You put the yellow.
Yellow, exactly. Just make it yellow. Don't worry about not knowing exactly. Like monthly service fee, it's pretty obvious. It's a fee. Reoccurring transfer, it's a transfer, but you can confirm it's a transfer because you see 15, negative 15, right? So that's automatically a transfer, okay? So if you can confirm it, you're good to go. Transfers can typically only be confirmed with umbrella ledgers. Otherwise, it's very difficult to confirm a transfer. Okay, so let's go back to the categories because this is where things get exciting for the taxes. So you have all of your categories here. You've got your total costs, you have your total income, and then here's your profit. So your profit is just your income minus your costs. We had a very small profit, but it's still pretty cool. You would take the owners of the profit. You do those would be 3, 56, 26. And you pull that across here. And then you can see, so our nonprofit is basically the primary owner of everything because we're a nonprofit network. So what you can see here is that this would be the actual profit attributed to the tax liability to each of the owners of the business. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, it should make sense because it's pretty complicated stuff, but this all goes in the K1 and we'll go over it in detail over and over and over again. The total owners should add up to 100%. We need to confirm this by looking it up. It's not that hard, but I do need to look it up manually, and then we'll update this, and we need to update it for the next year. So there's a whole nother ledger that's involved, what's called the ownership ledger, and we'll go over the ownership ledger in the near future. So, all right, is everybody on the same page so far in terms of the category items, organizing by category, adding up the category totals, totaling the categories, putting all the categories together, and then with the total costs and the income and the profit, and then breaking down the profit by owner? Is any questions from any of that?
No.
Okay, so we just completed step 6. Okay, so we know that it's not 100% perfect for all of step 3, 4, and 5. We know there's problems that's not 100% it's okay, but step 6 is basically done. So step 7 is the taxes. So all of that was just to kind of give you guys an overview of how we got to where we are. And now we want to go into the taxes, which is very, very exciting. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Before go to step 7,
yeah,
I would like to verify one thing from you. That is, go to the umbrella ledger. I'm going also. First, like you would see column 56.
Column 56. Column 56 is in 2017, though. We're not doing 2017.
I'm talking about umbrella.
I'm in the umbrella ledger, and column 56, line 56 is in 2017.
Line 56
is in 2017.
There is a lot of such like currency conversion.
Sure, but we're not doing 2017. 2017 is not applicable right now. We're focusing on 2016.
Okay.
Is that okay? Can we just focus on 2016?
Okay.
If you're putting in time into 2017, it means you're wasting our time and you're wasting our money, because it's like we need, our priority is to get the taxes, and they're due now. They're due in like less than a week. And if we don't do them, we're gonna have to pay thousands of dollars of fees. Like, and so if you're working on 2017, that means that you're perfectly fine for us to pay thousands of dollars of fees and fire people instead. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's like, let's not focus on 2017 unless you're okay with firing people and paying fees to the government instead.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. So we're done with step 6. And now we're going to step 7. Okay. So Julie, before we got here, all of us here were doing this training, Julie was actually helping us out with the folders, I believe. That was Julie. So if we go into the community network, we have the global network folder. And now there's fqn global.benji, fqn global.zulu. What are these? What is this?
Do inform me, Jay, that those are the files that we created and organized into a one folder.
Is that necessary? I mean, what's the point of having all the docs that people did in a single folder?
I don't know. Abdul told us.
Is Abdul here? No. Okay, let's not worry about it.
Create that on a folder and it's all in global folder.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would just create a mess. If every single person had their own folder of all the docs, I mean, you wouldn't be able to find anything, and it would just create a whole mess of docs. Like if we're organizing and creating docs, the docs should be, you know, specific for a purpose, you know, not just the name of someone. So for example, for me, all of the folders in the docs that I do, right? So these are just new docs that I create, and then I transfer them out after I get them uploaded. So mine is basically empty. The only reason I create a folder is just to make sure that I cover all of the documents in here and get them verified into the right folder, right? So that's empty. So then I have the network, the global network, life support, the social profit, valid tracking, you know, things that aren't public, legal correspondence, all the Moz stuff, right? So we're actually working in Moz, but we're moving it into the global folder. But it's like, it's very pointless to create folders that are just random for people's names, because that's not going to help organize anything. You should create folders based on the topics that they're about. You know, like you could do training. You could have a training folder, or a folder on, you know, calendar and scheduling or whatever, right? Anyways, so let's go into the global taxes. Like where's the, I thought you did all these folders, Julie. What happened to them? So in our buddy team doc, we had all these new tasks to create a new folder.
Actually, Abdul
like what happened to all these tasks that you said you did?
Yeah, for the most tasks, I created it, but I haven't shared it to the FQN folder yet. Let me share it.
No. It's not something that you share. It's something that exists inside the folder, and it should be owned by the Community Americas Network. Like, do you have access to the folders? It's just not something that you share. And so again, like the whole the whole idea that you would have, like, for example, a folder that Zulu would own is just never applicable. Like, that's just not okay, right? So you come in here, see how Zulu owns all of these folders? This is a huge problem, Zulu. Like, you can't own all of these documents. Have you talked to Abdul about this?
Not yet, Jay, because
well, no, Julie. I think Julie, yours are better. See, Julie, a lot of yours are all correct, right? Right. So here's the Mo taxes. So the Mo taxes folder doesn't go into your personal folder. You put it into the global network folder, and it says that you own it. So that's a problem. You need to transfer ownership to the Community Network Americas.
Yeah, I will.
Well, you have to do it now. I'm not going to use it. I would never ever use a folder that's not owned by the Community Network Americas, or my own folders for Jay's life.
Okay, one moment, Jay. Try to.
Anyway, but obviously most of your, like this one says Ulysses, like Ulysses needs to transfer that ownership. So we need to try to get in touch with Ulysses, but it's like Ulysses is gone. So if you lose touch with somebody, you actually have to go and you have to copy and paste the entire information and basically delete the old doc and do the new doc that's with the correct account. Okay, so that we know that we have all the information.
Yeah.
But Zilu, this is a huge problem. You know how to change. Zilu, you know how to change the ownership, right?
I've already changed the ownership.
Zilu, you know how to change the ownership, right?
I will do that. I will change the ownership on which email Abdul was sent me one time, but I forgot the email ID to change the ownership.
What's the email, Julie?
This one.
You can use network dot community
Network
47.
Network dot what?
Network dot community 47 at Gmail.
Yeah, and you can go through here, like you can see this one's Ulysses, that's a problem. Right? Ulysses, so Ulysses is obviously a problem, but again, I mean, it's just silly to have these docs here, with your names on them. It's just like you don't organize things by people. It's not about people, it's about us all working together. And this again is just totally silly. Anyways, we'll need to get back in touch with Abdul about this because it's just very, very silly. And look, this one's Abdul here. Abdul. Oh, I can see Abdul is really bad as well. Abdul has lots of docs that are owned by him. All right.
I already changed the ownership for most taxes.
Okay, let's take a look.
And also check up mine. I just
okay, so Mo Taxes says Community Network America. This is great. And there's nothing in it. Okay? All right, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we can get back to the taxes now, okay? So anyways, we need to add to, so please add documentations folders to our master topic list for main sessions, okay? Can someone do that?
Okay.
Can someone do that? You're gonna do that, Julie?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Documentation for those two master applications. Okay.
So this is something we need to talk about. We need to talk about the documentations folders because obviously it's a mess. All right. So now we are in the Mo Taxes. We're gonna create a new folder for Innovate United LLC. And we're going to go ahead and upload the tax document. So this is a 1065. A 1065 is the U.S. return for partnership income, right? Are there any questions on why we have this tax document and what it means? Okay, no questions. Cool. So everybody seems to understand that. The next step here is that, and just as I mentioned, eventually we'll most likely switch this up where there'll be both the federal and the state taxes. But that just adds another folder. We'll do that when we get to the state taxes. But eventually we'll add another folder, and this will be federal taxes, right?
We may need to fill up the W-8 form, right? Who are outside of US.
Yeah, but that's separate. That has to do with the payroll. It's not like what we're dealing with right now. But yeah, everybody needs to do their tax forms, and Abdul should be getting in touch with people on that. Okay, so this is the most important part of this whole exercise. Okay, are you guys listening?
Yes.
We have been researching for over 2 weeks how we can collaboratively edit a PDF document. And we finally figured out, and it's with this thing called Cami. So everybody needs to go to this folder, and everyone should have access to this folder. So does anyone not have access to the FQN Community Global Network folder? Everyone has access to it? So then you go into the Mo Taxes, Innovate United LLC, Federal Taxes, and then you would open this doc, and then you would come up to here and you'd say connect more apps. So now you're in the PDF within Google Drive. You go to connect more apps. It's going to load, and you're going to type in Cami. And Cami right here, #1 PDF app for Chrome, and you would hit the connect button to connect it. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So once you connect with Cami, you can then open with Cami. So I click here and I'd say open with Cami. It's going to open the PDF in the Cami program. And then it'll collectively allow all of us to edit it at the same time. All right, so now we can all edit this document at the same time. So this would be like Innovate United LLC. Right, so what we would do here is we would add like taxes and licenses, rent, debts, repairs. So most of it is other deductions, employee benefits. Yeah. So some of this we would just, it would be part of other deductions is the primary thing, and it's going to be an attached statement. But we can't add it all up and have it there. There is a little bit of interest. So it looks like interest should actually be a separate column, a separate one. So we can note that we have a problem there. So if we come back over here, we can note that we really should have another column for interest. And then make it yellow. And so if we look right now, our interest is all part of income. Oh wait, no, that's interest paid. Because those are expenses. So our income would be total income, other income, net gain, farm loss to the balance, returns, gross sales, receipts, and sales. Okay, cool. Salaries and wages other than to partners, guaranteed payment to partners. So this would be the draws, right? So in here, where it says draw, this would be called a guaranteed payment to partners. So that'd be 654.44. So you would come in here and you'd say 654.44. Oh wait, sorry, in here. So guaranteed payments to partners. Well, it looks like it's not going to work. I think I just clicked on the wrong place. So what was it again? 654. 654.44. Right there, 654. It's fine. So typically this would you'd put some spaces here. That's kind of odd that it but that's fine. Okay. So a lot of these are going to be zeros. So salaries and wages, I think we paid just a little bit. Payroll wages 103. Right, so basically you can ignore the cents, right? So we can kind of just like go like this, right? So you just kind of just do dollar-wise and ignore the dollars and cents because the US government is not interested in pennies. Okay, so you just put like the dollar amount. Does that make sense? So this would be 654, 103. You guys follow me here?
Yes.
Rent, we don't have any rent. Taxes and licenses would be this. Tax and license, $800. So that would go here. Interest, we don't have any interest. And so these would be 0. So you should just be able to put 0 here. I like to put zeros because then you know it's done, right? I wonder if you can put dollar signs. No dollar signs. Depreciation, we're not going to worry about that. 0. Depletion, 0. Retirement plans, 0. Employee benefit programs. There does come a time where we do have employee benefit programs, but we didn't spend on any of that, this particular organization, but other organizations we do. Other deductions. Okay, so now we have 103, 654, and 800, right? So what happens here is like you would actually kind of separate these, right? So,
Julie, will you please mute your microphone, Julie?
Oh yeah, can you mute? So this would be like on form, and this would be other deductions, okay? So fees are other deductions, so we would go ahead and put that over here, right? Actually, you know what the best thing to do is? Let's just do both of these. So this would be like total / all. And then we can say what's on the form and what other deductions. So this one is other. Legal services is other. Office expenses. All this is other. Payroll wages is on the form. Taxes and licenses is on the form. Draws on the form. Utilities, other. Okay, so then we're going to add all of these up. So this is 1,558 and this is 1,467. So that would mean that our other is 1,054.67. I don't know. It's not a disaster. 1,467. 1,467. It's only letting to do 3 characters there, which is a problem. Highlight, strike through, underline, comment, text box. Cool. So basically, when it doesn't let you do something, you just have to add a text box here. So this would be 1,467. Right, it's not right. 1,467. That looks good. Okay. And now what do I do? Scratch. So you guys should all be on. Is anyone having problems getting on this document together? You guys should all be on this document. Like, what are you guys having trouble getting on the document? Is anyone here? Hello?
Yes, Jay. When we have the link for that, Jay.
What do you mean? I already went through that. It's in the folder. Does anyone not have access to the global network folder in the Google Drive? Julie.
Yes, Jay.
Do you have access to the global documents folder in the Google Drive?
Yes.
So you go into the Mo taxes, and that's where the document is.
Okay, Jay, thank you.
Albina, do you have access to the global documents folder?
I've just checked and I realized I don't have it.
Okay, so why didn't you mention anything earlier? I mean, if you can't be doing anything, you're not working with us, then it's like there's no reason for you to need to be here.
That's I was checking it on the Google Drive. Then I realized I don't have it.
Okay, well, you guys need to speak up. When you guys don't have access to the things that we're asking you to help with, you need to tell us so that we know. Otherwise, we can't help you. So
I don't have it, Jay.
Okay, so it's like, you know, someone needs to help Albina get on it, and then maybe we can continue this another time, but it's like, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Zilu, do you have access to the global folder?
I'm checking.
You didn't even check yet? Lucy, do you have access to the global folder? Okay, so are you going to get on the doc?
Lucy, share with me, please.
I'm on the doc you are working on now. Even.
You're in the Cami?
Yeah, I'm in the doc you are using now. This one for US return partnership income.
I know, but are you in the Cami? Can you edit it?
How can I get the Kemi?
Okay, so let's go over this again. So let me, if you can send us your email.
Okay.
Albina, can you send us your email?
Yeah.
I just sent over the Hangout.
I don't need your email, Lucy. You said you already have it. I just need the Albina's email.
Okay, Jay, I've shared my email on the Hangout.
Okay. All right, so that should get you access to the global folder.
Yes, we have access.
So Zilu, you have access to the folder, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's go through this all again, because you guys really need to be speaking up and talking when I'm asking you questions, because you're not you're not interacting and communicating so that we can all follow along together. It's a huge problem. So you go into the Mo taxes, you go into Innovate United LLC, and we're in the federal taxes, and you open the PDF for the 1065. Zilu, have you opened the PDF for the 1065? Julie, have you opened the PDF for the 1065?
Yes, Jay.
You have opened the PDF for the 1065?
Yeah.
So when you say yes, Jay, you say yes, Jay, like literally 100 times, and it's pretty much meaningless at this point. And yeah, it's also meaningless. Like, please tell me, did you like open the PDF?
Yes, Jay.
No,
my audio is not working well. Can you repeat that again, please?
I'm asking you to please tell me something of what you did. Like, what did you do? Did you open the file?
Yes, I am seeing now the file.
Okay, thank you.
I already opened the 1065 file.
File, yes, Jay.
So the 1065.
Okay, and Lucy, you're there as well?
Yes. I was there just waiting for you guys.
Great. Okay, so now we're all to this file. So now what you need to do is
Jay.
Yeah, but please don't say yes, Jay. That's just, you guys say that all the time. It doesn't mean anything. You need to tell me what you're doing or a question that you have so that it's actually applicable. Like, yes, I'm on the file, I can see it, you know, so that we're all on the same page. Okay, so now what you do is you open this little thing here. You come down to what's called Connect More Apps. And you click on the Connect More Apps button.
Yeah.
And you write in K-A-M-I, Cami, and you press return. And it's going to bring up Cami. Okay, when you get to Cami, you're going to push the Connect button. And then you're going to connect Cami to your Google folder. And you're going to need, when you click on it, you're going to need to register and all that kind of stuff, which is really easy. Right? So once you connect Cami, Then you would come here and then you would say open with Cami, and you would click the open with Cami button. Okay? And that's going to take you over here.
Yes. Okay.
So when I try to open with it, bring connect with more apps.
Yeah, it's going to tell you it's going to want to connect with more apps, and you're going to want to search for Cami, connect with more apps, K-A-M-I, Cami, and you're going to search for Cami, and then you're going to connect Cami to your Google Drive.
So searching for Kemi, I don't see Kemi here. When I search.
K-A-M-I.
I already opened it with Cami.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Lucy, you can't find the Cami?
Yes.
Yes, yes what? When you say yes, it doesn't mean yes, you can find it.
I
Yes, you
cannot
can't
find the Kemi.
Okay.
I search for Kemi.
You can't find it. So let's share your screen and go through that together.
Okay.
And see if we can figure it out. So the only other thing that I showed you here, I was showing you guys how to edit the file. With this particular type of file, we're going to need to use the text box a lot in different scenarios here. But let's not worry about that now. But once you do this, you're gonna click the save button, and look here, it says 17 unsaved changes. And I'm going to click the Save Now button. This is the most important thing, because if you don't do this, then it doesn't save. And we can't auto-save without paying $100, although we'll probably end up paying the $100 because it's really useful. So now it says that.
So I'm on Kemi. Which Kemi should I connect with? I can see that 3 of them.
The first one right here. This is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so now once you're connected, you would go up to the thing on the top and say open with Cami. And you scroll down and click on Cami.
Open with.
Yeah. And then you need to allow Google Drive. And then you would click allow for Lucy, or choose an account. Looks like you have multiple accounts. And then you click on the bottom.
New file in your Google Drive.
Yeah, so then you click on the bottom and you say yes, accept.
I just click okay.
Yeah, so you just agree and say allow. Yeah.
Allow.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool, and that's it. So now you're in, and now you can collect. We can all collectively edit the PDFs together. Okay.
Yes.
And so now you'd say you have collaborators. Click a notify me, or it's fine. But you can see all of us on the bottom here. We have all four. There's 4 of us now who are all in the document together.
Okay.
Okay. So the main thing I was trying to show you here is, like, you put in the different numbers. I mean, all of this is going to be double and triple and quadruple checked by many people, probably even quintuple checked. I mean, this is all going to the government. So the important thing here is that you just understand, generally the relationship between these line numbers and the work that we did with step 6 and 6, where we have all the categories. So on the form, we're able to put 3 numbers, and then the other deductions are the ones that are separate, and that's an additional $1,467. So we put that separately here. We might move all of these. We're going to see how it saves and looks. But basically, you can even add dates and sign and print names, all that stuff. We're going to add the address, right? This is the home address here. But eventually maybe we'll get a separate address. Total assets. So the total assets is actually a good question to ask, because we didn't actually get the starting balance for the year. So our total assets at the end of the year is actually a little off. So we are going to want to update that. Yeah. So we do need to get our starting balance. So that's another task. So we would add that just to remind you guys, we have our task list. If you go to project finances, right? We have our finance task list, and this is where we put important tasks.
What about here say total asset? See the instructions.
Hold on one sec. So this is going to be task add in starting balances for Innovate United and other for. So in the taxes, we need to have the total assets at the end of the year. Total assets at end of year. Okay, so your question was about which line?
The first line is add total asset. It is a total asset. See the instruction. This is where there is see the first one. On the first, it stands for Canada word number 14. Then the next is F, type or trend.
Yeah, I mean, our assets are going to be our total amount of money that we have at the end of the year. And so this would be December 31st, 2016. But we're not going to worry about that right now because we don't need to have that there at the moment. Okay.
So it's okay. If I may ask, what basically this form is used for? How can we work on this?
Well, I just told you, like, so after you do step 6, right? This is step 6. You have all of the categories, and you added up all the totals from your line items, right? So here's all your line items from the different places, and you organize them all by category, right? And then you're adding up, for example, all your office expenses, right? So we know that all the office expenses cost a total of $484. So then you have all your category totals, and then your category totals add up to the total cost for the year, and then your total income, and then this is our profit. Right, so our total income is $3,381 currently, and so if we come in here, that would go under gross sales and receipts would be $3,331, right?
Yeah.
3,381. Sorry, 3,381. Balance subtract line 1B from line 1A, returns and allowances. We didn't have any of that. So then over here, 1C, we would add this. We have to add a text box because it doesn't fit in there. So we click here with the text box, open up, and this would be 3,381. You see how it's off by a little bit? You should be able to move the text box by clicking this button here. There we go. So I get it right in the right place, goes right around there, okay?
Okay.
We can move this one a little bit as well, just make sure it kind of lines up correctly. So we're gonna see how this all looks like. We might put them all in text boxes to make sure it looks like. Remember, you always have to save, right? Whenever you do something, because it doesn't auto-save because we haven't paid the money yet, but eventually we might pay the money. So once you saved, you can actually come back here. You can refresh. What's this, Julie? What's this?
Yeah, it was a mistake, Jay. I will delete that. I mistakenly opened it in a Google Doc.
Okay, yeah, just delete that. You always want to open it using Cami. Right, so now you can see we have this, it put that in, it put this in. So you can see how these are in the correct column, but that these ones are not in the correct column. So we're gonna have to do text boxes for all of these and transfer them over so they're in their correct place. Right, so this is looking pretty good though. This is really good, and we can all work on this at the same time. Very exciting. So now, yeah, I think I can just keep working on it. I don't think I have to actually change anything. But actually, let me show you one thing. So if I close this, so I think I would just close it, right? And if I say open with Cami again, when it opens with Cami, it's probably going to ask me whether or not I want to. Oh no, just like I think it's opening. Okay, cool. Nice. So all of these we're going to change this to text boxes. So this I would just click a text box. I would write 103, right? And then I would move it so that it lines up with the line. Does that make sense? And then this I would delete. Whoops, actually I have to, and then you have to click.
We need to put the text box in every line.
Well, yeah, because these just aren't on the right place. They're supposed to be lined up here and not over here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Depreciation, deletion, set. So this all looks good. This all looks good. So then you have the total deductions, right? And we know what the total deductions are. It's 3,025, right? Because you would up all of these numbers, and they would all add up to 3,025. So I do a new text box, and I would click here for total deductions, and I would do 3,025. And then I would make sure that it's in the right spot, which is right there. Perfect, okay? Then you have ordinary business income or loss. So you'd subtract line 21 from line 8. So 21 minus line 8 would be a profit of 356. So I would do the text box. And I would usually redo it just to make sure. So, you know, just follow the directions. It says subtract line 21 from line 8. So I'd go line 21. I'd start with line 21, 3,025 minus, wait, no, I'd start with line 8. Sorry, I didn't even do line 8. So you need to add all this up, other income, all the incomes that we have. We only have gross receipts. And then we would put the total again here. So a lot of times when you're doing tax forms, you write the same number over and over and over again. So get in the habit of doing that. And so this is going to be 3381 like that. Okay. So then you follow directions. You subtract. You do line 8 minus line 21. So I open the calculator. Do line 8, 3,381 minus 3,025 is 356. So we made $356 of profit. And then we note that here. 300 and what was it? 56?
36.
36. 3,381 minus 325 is 356.
Yeah.
And then I want to make sure that it's in the right spot right there. All right, and that's our income. So it's not a lot of money, not a lot of income, but we don't need a lot of income because we are a non-profit entity. All right, so that's pretty much the basics of how a tax form works. I mean, there's a couple other things here. You know, this is a check boxes, technical termination, initial return. Our check accounting method is cash method. Oh, wait, it's only letting us do one of those at a time. Try this select tool. That's odd. I'm not sure how we can do both of those, but we'll have to figure that out. Number of scheduled K1s. Okay, so the K1s, check if Schedule C and M3 are attached. So we're gonna have to read some instructions here, but the K1s are these. You know, we're gonna have to do the K1s, and that's what I need the most help with is the K1s. The K1s is where it gets overwhelming. There's just so many of them, and every one you have to do over again. And plus you have to do them for the state level, and it's just too much. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do a K1 next time. So I think we're done for today. Are there any questions so far? I mean, the main things we went over here today is how to get into the PDF, how to collectively edit the PDF, how to save. Right now there's 30 unchanged saves. I'm going to save them all.
Okay, this is not saving automatically. We need to save when we are doing edit.
No, it costs money to save automatically. So if I click the auto save, it says you need to upgrade, and it's a $100 payment to be able to save automatically.
Okay.
So for now, we're not going to save automatically, but we might add that in the future. That would be a budgetary decision that we'd all have to make and decide that basically we're not going to pay a person and instead pay $100, which, you know, literally is enough to pay someone for a month, right?
Yeah.
And just so that we can auto save. I mean, if we can't, you know, basically one, pay somebody to feed their family and take care of their family and help each other, you know, or, you know, not be able to push the damn auto save button. It's like, can we take the care of pushing the save button so that we can feed someone's family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I think feeding someone's family, I would actually prioritize, but we could talk about that, because I'm definitely down to buy that. We certainly have money for it, but you know, the budgets are really tight. So any other questions about?
I wanted to ask, so this form is for yearly on a per annum. So when are we going to fill the one for 2017? Because this one is for 2016. Is it done?
Yeah, so the 2017 one will be due in a year from now. So that you do,
Okay,
20, you do the
next year.
2017 taxes in 2018. Does that make sense? Like you do that next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so overall,
So
I'm
these-
not expecting you guys to know how to do all the taxes. If you're interested in learning more of the taxes, you have to read the information. What we do is within the documents, like within this particular folder, we'll also have the information on the taxes. Like this individual folder will probably end up having as many as, like, you know, 5, 6, 7, even more documents. And then if you come back here, this is just the federal taxes. There's also going to be the California state taxes. And then in that, there'll be an additional like 5, 8 documents. And that's just for one entity. And we have 8. So there's going to be a lot of taxes that we're going to be doing. There's probably going to be as many as, you know, 50 PDFs, right, that we're going to be working with for both the state and the federal levels. So the most important thing here is not to understand how to do the taxes. You're in no way responsible for knowing how to do the taxes or exactly, you know, how much goes where, but you should be able to understand the categories. You should be able to fill in the categories. You should be able to add and subtract, you know, to make things add up correctly, and to double check and triple check and verify that the calculations are made correctly. You should be able to help move things from different columns so that they're aligned correctly. And then most importantly, we just want you to have access to the Cami and be able to utilize it within the Google apps. So are there any other questions on like the basics that we went over for today?
No.
I think we are okay. So this form will be closed tomorrow. If you want to work on it, you have to open with the Cami again.
Yeah, you'd have to open it with Cami. That's the only way
Okay.
to work on it.
Okay. For now, I think there is no other question. That's a great
Maybe
discussion.
you share with us the link of the video so that we may go through it. I think we came in late, some of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go to the Asia weekly master notes, this started with Julie, Jay, and Abdul. I can't remember exactly. Oh, look at that. Julie, Abdul, and Zilu, we started here, and you guys probably got here at like 11 a.m. Australia time. So now this is a double team, right? So this is double team Zilu, Julie, Albina, Lucy, and Jay, right? So we need to get in the habit of tracking all our team times so that for our value tracking. So this is double team Jay, Albina, Zilu, Julie, and Lucy. All right, and so here we did like a half an hour. All right.
Yeah.
And this was only a half an hour as well. We started at 10:05. Cool. Sweet. And if you go into our notes right here, these are our notes. Inside the notes, you would see our buddy team for Abdul, Zilu, and Julie.
Okay.
I guess this is double team. I don't know, buddy team / double team. And then here's the recording right here. Someone needs to make sure this gets into the video index under finances and taxes, so that people know can watch this video, because this is a very important video. It also goes through Cami. So it also goes through Cami. So we could even find the specific part on PDF editing, which is technically separate from the taxes itself. But this is not necessary. This is just like bonus.
So this one is supposed to be on each category alone on video indexing. It will be finance and taxes.
Yeah. So it should go under finances, and then the topic is taxes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be really good. So I'm really glad we got this done today. Like tomorrow and future days, we're gonna be working on these PDFs a lot because they're all due like next week. So yeah.
Okay, can I continue this few remaining minutes to add that on video indexing?
Please do. Yeah, add this in the video indexing. That would be great.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other last questions before we let we go?
No, there is a question.
Okay.
No.
Really quick on the calendar, there is a eclipse session coming up, and also a new moon. So let's see here, calendar. Let's do UTC. So this weekend we don't have anything in particular. Next week we have the full moon on Monday.
Today we have a Euro-Africa session.
Yeah, you guys have the Euro-Africa session, right? So the full moon is on Monday, so we need to make sure and verify during your Africa session, and I'll note this down in the Asia docs. So
okay.
So also these need to be updated heading 4, updated heading 4, heading 4, good. So so prep for your Africa session. So obviously you want to do your weekly goals, right?
Yes.
And then also we need to prep everyone's budget proposals for the Monday budget decision making, right? So the full moon, we're gonna do decisions on the budget, and that is on Monday. So it's Monday, 6 p.m. UTC, and the budget is due on Saturday. I think it should be the second Saturday of the month. Yeah, that's right. So it's the 12th. So the budget's due on the 12th. I believe that the full moon is also an eclipse. It says the lunar eclipse is the same time. So this is a very special full moon because it's also an eclipse, and that does need to be updated, that it's actually the full moon lunar eclipse. And eclipses only happen about 4 times a year, and then 2 weeks later there'll be the total solar eclipse at the new moon. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. And then we also need to add the Mercury in there. I'm not sure about the Mercury time. Our calendars and scheduling doc is just still not, we're not doing very good with our calendar and scheduling, but we're getting better. So moon calendar, planetary schedule. Thought we had a Mercury doc. I'm not sure why it disappeared. Yeah, we used to have a Mercury doc, but somehow, somewhere, it disappeared. Mercury, Perlion, 19th of June. I don't know. We had it on there before, but it's not there. So yeah, we need to get the Mercury sessions updated. Planetary schedule. What is this? Let's check this real quick. Natural planetary schedule. No, that's not it. Mercury. Oh wait, maybe no. June 19th. No. Not there. So anyways, whoever's working on the schedule and calendar, let's be sure to get the Mercury session updated and verified as soon as possible. And we can check our verification real quick here, see how it's doing. Eclipse Mercury session, yeah, not there. So we got the seasonal session, the Venus is here. This is good, this is good. So it's just the Mercury, we need to get the Mercury one in there. Okay. So Venus is on the 3rd of October. You know, I mean, it's like Mercury perihelion. I don't know. Anyways, we just needed, someone needs to deal with that. So any other last questions? I think we're good. Just the full moon on Monday.
I'm asking the question about the calendar. There is somewhere we indicate red about seasonal.
Yeah, seasonal sessions.
About the percentage.
The percentage.
The percentage.
For the seasonal?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's the 22nd of September, so it'll be the same way you find the percentage for anything else.
Okay.
And if it's a positive 92, that would imply that this happened after a new moon and you're going towards the full moon.
Okay.
So did you guys verify that?
This the one, but we did not verify this one for 92.40%. That was Zulu putting that.
Okay,
I think Zulu was working on that. Venus.
Okay.
We work on seasonal and on the top. That's why I'm asking for the percentage. So you said we just get like that, so we will try to get the percentage on that.
Okay, well, do you guys want me to show you really quick how to do the Mercury and the other planets really quick?
Okay, we can just do it now. This remain few minutes.
Okay, so let's check this out on here. It says we're over 2 hours on the recording. I'm not sure exactly what time we started the recording, but you know, we need to add in the video indexing. So video indexing around 2 hours, question mark. So someone needs to confirm that, and then this is going to be for the calendar and scheduling, okay? So this is like some tasks that need to be done, and someone needs to verify the link for the video, and then it's also get the correct sharing. So, whoops. Okay, so can you guys deal with that?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so calendars and scheduling. So I just want to quickly show you how to do the Mercury session. This will also be exactly the same for the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. I don't think it applies to Ceres. And it also applies to Venus, but not the eclipses or seasonal or anything else. So this is pretty simple calendar and scheduling. You're going to go to the moon doc or the moon clock doc, because it's just where all the links happen to be. And you're going to come down to natural cycle time verification priorities. So this has a lot of information, but I think you have it right here, priority planetary times, okay? So when you're doing planets, it's this one. It's called Cal Sky. And I can you know, copy and paste this over here. Well, I'm just gonna put it at the bottom. So this will be calling, you know, verifying planetary cycles, right?
Okay.
So we use that one. And we actually have a whole process for this. This is the process right here. It doesn't actually have the process. I thought we did have a process, but that's okay. I know it's somewhere around here. Natural process. I think this is it. Step 0, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, planetary scheduling. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll get back to that process later. This isn't even technically a responsibility. It's a subtask of a responsibility. So that's what we're covering here. This is basically a sub or umbrella task. Okay, so step 1, so you're going to add the Gregorian time to the cycle 1 month at a time. Use the sky color, natural cycle scheduled. This isn't what I was looking for. What? Oh my God. All right. I don't think this is what I was looking for. Let me double check one more thing. Add Google Calendar. Moon scheduling. Oh yeah, this is it right here. It is there. So you go to use CalSky. So here's the link to the CalSky. Make sure that you're at the right time zone or you're not going to get the right information. And then you have to click the long table of contents. It's called the phenomena for each planet. Okay? All right, so let's do it.
Okay.
So you go to the website. I already clicked it once. Once you're on the website, the most important thing is getting your time zone correct. So see over here, it doesn't say UTC, so that means my time zone is incorrect. So that means every time I would get from the site would be wrong, right? So I'm going to click on here to change my time zone. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to say, wait, no. I'm not going down to the bottom. All right, here, time zones. It's number 2. All right, and then I'm going to go to UTC Coordinated Universal Time, okay?
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Yes.
If you want to do a 24, 12-hour clock, AM, PM, you can do that. It doesn't really matter. And then you have to press this button, the go button here, or it won't register. So you have to press that, and then it will register and update the time. So now over here, see it says UTC. So now you know you're ready to go. Okay. So then after you do that, you would come over here, and you see that you click on the table of contents, right? So the long table of contents, and then click phenomenon for each planet. So if I come here, I see the long table of contents right in the middle here. See? So I click on the long table of contents, and then you're going to see all the planets. So you have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, right? Uranus, Neptune, they're all there. Pluto even, okay?
Yes.
So once you get to the planet, we're going to want to go to what's called phenomena. Okay, I don't know why it's called phenomena, but that's what it's called. So you click on phenomena. Let's double check to make sure this is correct. Phenomena, okay? So phenomena for each planet. So you click on the phenomena button, and we're doing Mercury right now, so we're going to do Mercury. And then it's going to have all the Mercury information for the next 12 hours.
Is
I don't know. That's weird.
August, September.
It looks like it's going through October. So let's just go through the end of the year.
October.
So, you know, we should just go through the end of the year, you know, like 1 year. Go. Oh, it automatically extended 91 days in order to show some more data. So, okay, so now it did the whole year. Okay, so all we're concerned is with the aphelion. October 29th, and so October 29th minus 29 days. I think we might have
October
missed
29,
September 15th.
12 p.m. I don't know.
I think we might. I think it's possible that we missed it. Let's go backwards a month and see if we missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're looking at July. Aphelion, so it was August 2nd. It was yesterday.
Yes, August 2nd.
So we missed it by a day.
We missed it. Yeah.
So, you know, so it's just like, it's like we shouldn't have missed that if people just simply did the work that we're asking people to do, and we wouldn't have missed it. So that's kind of sad that we missed a really important global session. Once we miss it, there's nothing we could do. I mean, it's gone. So, so now what we go is we come back to calendars and scheduling. I know we used to have a Mercury doc. I just don't understand why it didn't get linked here and why it's gone. Let me do a quick search just to make sure that it doesn't exist. So, and let me make sure this is all saved up so we don't mess that up. No, not print, save. One unsaved change, save. Okay, I'll change the save. Okay, so close that. Come back over here. All right, so we're gonna search for Mercury Sessions Doc. The Mercury Sessions Doc totally exists. We did this together with other people. Oh no, this is the Mercury Sessions after doc. No, this is not what we wanted. Mercury Sessions notes, Mercury Sessions management, Mercury prep for Mercury Sessions, Mercury Sessions doc. No, I guess we didn't have it. Prep for Mercury Sessions. All right, well, I guess we didn't have a Mercury Sessions doc. That's okay. But we should have had more information. So we just had the Mercury Perihelion, Venus, Earth session, new moons. We did all the new moons and quarter moons, but we just didn't do the Mercury sessions. So let's.
So you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, of course we're supposed to do it. So let's just start down here. So these are the Mercury sessions. And eventually the Mercury sessions would have its own doc, you know, so we'd create a doc for Mercury session scheduling. Here we would just add the first one. So we missed this one, August 2nd. That's really sad. So we're gonna have to wait another 40 days before the next one, and it's September 15th.
Yeah.
So it's a little more than a month. It's like 44 days. So if you subtract a month, 44 minus 30, it's basically a month and a half. So the Mercury session happens every month and a half. Okay, and so the full moon session happens once a month. The full and new moon sessions happen once a month, right? So new moon is like the beginning of every month. The Mercury sessions happen once every month and a half. The Venus sessions only happen 3 times a year. Okay, so this is September 15th at 12:04 p.m.
12:04 p.m.
So I would come into here and put it right there. Oops, that's not right. 15th of September 2017 at 12:4. So when you ever see a 0.4, you do 0.4 times 60, you get 24 minutes. 12:24 p.m. And then you also want to note down that this is the perihelion. Okay?
Yes.
Actually, it would be the first thing, perihelion. The perihelion means that it's the closest root point in space-time to the sun. And there's a specific reason why we do the perihelion and the aphelion. All of these other descending nodes, all this stuff is just random multi-cycled calculations, all this stuff. The perihelion and the aphelion are the root point cycle of Mercury. Is there's nothing else that relates to it except for the point in space-time of Mercury being closest to the sun and Mercury being furthest from the sun. So the aphelion is when Mercury is furthest from the sun. So this would be October 29th, and this would be the aphelion. Okay.
Yes.
And the time is 12.1.
12.1.
And then we would go ahead and add it. 0.1 times 60 is
60
minutes.
6 minutes.
Cool. So does someone want to try the next one?
Next one is.
I guess you could share your screen for everybody if you want to. Does anyone want to share their screen and do the next one? Do you guys not want to do the next one?
Let's try.
Albina, are you trying to do it?
Yeah, let me see if I can do it.
Okay, do you want to share your screen so we can watch it?
Okay.
Which one? My screen went off, so
You're working on.
I just restarted again.
I still can't see your screen, Albina.
Okay, I'm sharing.
You're working on what, Albina?
We're working on. Yeah, we are on. Pardon, just a minute.
Mercury session?
Yes, it is on Mercury session. So we are done up to October.
Okay. Can you share your screen then?
I've shared.
Okay, yeah, I can see your screen now. So you want to go into the calendar and scheduling doc?
Yeah.
So go into the calendar and scheduling doc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it, huh? And then you're going to go all the way down to the bottom to the Mercury section.
Mercury.
Eventually, we'll have its own Mercury scheduling, or maybe just like planetary cycle scheduling, I guess. Maybe that's what happened.
Mercury, do I have it? Yes, Mercury.
We'll go up a little bit. Go up a little bit. Yeah, right here. So you're going to click on the Cal Sky.
Cal Sky. Oh. Yeah, here.
Uh-huh. And what's the first thing that you're going to do once you get there?
We go on the long table of contents.
No, that's not the first thing that you do.
We change the time.
You have to check the time first.
Yeah, the time.
We change the time to UTC.
Yeah, so you click Somewhere Kenya. Click on Somewhere Kenya.
Where?
Yeah, just click on Somewhere Kenya. So you click on the Somewhere Kenya button.
Yeah, Kenya, yes.
Yeah, click on that. Did you click on it? It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Click on it. Yeah, click on that. Click on it.
Yes, I clicked there.
Click on
There
the
it goes. Okay, so then you scroll down to step 2. So scroll down to step 2.
Step 2, then we go and change on our time.
Yeah.
Change here where automatic select UTC.
UTC.
Universal.
And then you go all the way down to the bottom.
Yes, now we click on the.
And then push the go button. All right, great.
Then we go to long table of content.
Yeah.
Then we look for the
So now we have all phenomena
for Mercury. Mercury.
It is there. I see. Number 6.
No, number 7 on planets, Mercury,
Great.
then phenomenal.
Yeah.
Then we.
So your duration needs to be bigger. So you're gonna have to go to like 1 year or so for your duration.
Duration.
Put 1 year where the 12 hours are. 12 hours.
Okay.
1 year. Yes, down there.
And then click the go button again. All right, so then you can scroll down.
So we had done up to 29th October.
Yeah.
I think this
29 October.
The next one will be December 12.
Yeah.
This one.
That's correct.
So
I see December 1st.
No, we are picking for the perihelion and the aphelion.
Okay.
So we had done for aphelion 29th October. So we are on 12th December. Perihelion.
Okay.
Yeah, so then you need to add that to the list. You add that to the list on the calendar doc.
Where is the list now?
Just go right down a little bit. Just scroll down just a little bit.
Go down.
Yeah, and just
Okay.
add it right there. So this would be the perihelion, and it would be December 12th. This would be perihelion. It would be the perihelion.
Go back to where you check your living.
December. Okay, perihelion.
Perihelion. Yeah. P-R-I-H-L-P-R. I. Yes.
Will be on 12th
December. The time now.
What time?
Check the time.
Then we check the time. It will be at 11.7 hour. So we take 0.7 times 60. Let me just do it locally.
07?
0.7 times 60 to change into minutes. So we'll have 11:42.
So now I'm lost there.
Okay, we have to
11:42 a.m.
Okay, Lucy, it is 11.7. So this 0.7 we have to change into minutes. So we multiply by 60. Then it will be 11:42.
You said 60?
Yeah.
Times?
60 times 0.7. Initially on our calendar, it is 12 December 2017, 11.7 hours. So these 0.7 hours, we need to change into minutes. We multiply it by 60. That is where
I
we are.
got it.
11.42. Yeah.
Thank you.
The next one will be in January 2018. 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, we come
Okay,
here.
so
we
yeah,
write January.
let's just finish this one up for January, and then let's stop and because it's really late. I got to go to bed, and but this was good. I'm glad we got a chance to get this all finalized.
Okay.
But it is a pity that we missed our Mercury session. Hopefully that'll be the last Mercury session we ever miss.
I think because no one was checking on calendar.
Well, exactly. Of course, no one was checking on the calendar. People just skipped it, even though it was our responsibility to do.
This one will be in January 5th. (2018). Acts. January 25th. It will be 0.3. Lucy, are you there?
Yes.
0.3.
18.
Times 60.
Minutes.
That will be 18 minutes. So
Yes.
it will be 11:18.
Yes.
11:18.
So one thing you'll
So-
notice about
So Jay, I'm asking, are we supposed to create a micro session doc for sessional scheduling?
I think we might just do one for all of the planetary sessions. I remember us creating one. I feel like we did some of this already. Let me double check one.
Yeah, I remember I did for micro session, Venus, I don't know.
I know, that's what's so weird about it. It's like we already did it, but it's like all missing. So it's just like
But you can get this on F2N.
Oh, it looks like Zilu might have done it. Look, Zilu did it. Natural planetary dates, natural planetary schedule. I think maybe Zilu did it and then just didn't link it then.
So I think it is better
Oh no,
it's
this
supposed to link.
this is the one that we already looked at,
So
so that's
that-
just pointless. We don't need that. Planetary dates. No, Zilu just made some BS docs that are not needed. These documents aren't needed at all. All right, so let's check planetary calendar scheduling, natural planet schedule, natural planet dates, unity main doc. No, I don't
I think
see
I
it.
created this doc before on I don't know whether it is on F2N
What about this Mercury session?
doc.
Well, if you created it before, it would have been on this doc. It should be, if it's not linked to the calendar and scheduling doc, it doesn't exist, you know?
Yeah.
I just remember where I create Earth and Venus. They were in the same place.
Yeah, but if we had done it properly, we did it, we wouldn't have missed the Mercury session, but we didn't do it properly. We didn't do it, we didn't verify it, we didn't double check it. So we missed the Venus, the Mercury session.
Then we need to double check, then we see if it is not there so that we create the doc for that.
I mean, I would just say that technically the planetary scheduling sessions doc, this would be the doc that you would create it, and it would include Mercury as well as other planets. Okay, so that would be the best thing to do, is just to make one for the planetary session scheduling doc, and then we would copy and paste all of this Mercury information into it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's similar to the Selene lunar. So we basically have two sets of scheduling globally. There's the planetary scheduling, and then there's the Selene scheduling, and the only other schedule system that we work with is the galactic calendar. But that's on a whole nother level. That's basically at the FQN level. But for the community network, it's just the planetary sessions, the lunar sessions, and that's currently all we do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I think we're done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So until tomorrow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good night.
I think it is now late for you.
Yeah, very late for me.
Have a good night.
Yeah, good night,
Have a
Julie.
good night.
You take care.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.